to Retro Unboxing. Now if I asked you to guess which was the highest selling phone of all time, what would you say? Perhaps the original iPhone? Maybe the Nokia 3310? Perhaps one of the Samsung Galaxy models? Well, today we have for you the Nokia 1100. This bad boy sold 250 million units worldwide. First released in 2003. A model of this phone was actually the 1 billionth phone sold by Nokia. As you can see on the back here, used the BL5C battery. Now that battery was designed for phones that were quite a bit more high tech than this. So you ended up with a talk time of 4.5 hours and a standby time of a whopping 400 hours. So if you charge this up, you certainly didn't need to charge again for maybe, God, it must be nearly 2 weeks. Pretty basic phone, as you can see on the side. Boasted features like flashlight, picture messaging, which was actually just monochromatic pixel messages you could send to friends, and I had a little game, had games actually, but one of them was Space Impact. So we'll open the box up and see what's inside. Underneath here you had your Nokia 1100 user's guide. I'll have a flick through that. Had pretty simple features. And of course here we have the classic square-headed bulb Nokia charger. We have the battery. I charged this earlier today, so that'll be fully charged and ready to go. And then we have the phone here itself, the Nokia 1100. It's quite a light phone, quite a small phone. Now as I said, it was pretty basic, but Nokia had actually designed this phone in part to be marketed at the developing world. So you had features like these enclosed buttons that kept the dust out, and it was pretty robust. I in fact needed a work phone a couple of years ago, and I used the Nokia 1100 for a couple of months and I did not have a problem with it. Had good call quality. I mean, as long as I didn't need the internet, just text messages and calls, and it was a beast, not a problem. On the bottom here you've got your headphone jack or your charging port. Okay, so we'll open up the back here, and you can see here you pull this lever and you can place a SIM card inside. There we go, and we'll place a battery inside and we can power up and view the features. Now, as I've mentioned on the channel before, Australia no longer uses the 2G network, so we can't log on to that network, but we can use the SIM card to browse the features on the phone. Going to set the time, we'll say 1100. Today's date is the 24th of January 2020, and we're in business. So we'll go into the menu. Of course you had messages, contacts, call register, had your tones, we'll jump in there, have a listen to the classic Nokia tune. Sure that rings a few bells. Ring volume, call alert, message tone, all that stuff. Got your profiles, settings, time, call, phone settings, keyguard, security. Pretty standard stuff for an older Nokia. Got your alarm clock, your reminders. Got your games. We'll start with Snake. This is Snake 2. Very similar to the original. We'll go into Classic. If you're older than 35, you can probably remember this one. Before you had Angry Birds or the modern app games, This is what you used at the bus stop. Also had this Space Invaders knockoff Space Impact. Not sure how to control it. You've got this little spaceship here. Oh, I've had a crash. Nobody put me in charge. There we go. Also got your extras, calculator, stopwatch, countdown timer, composer for your own ringtones, screensaver, and you got your flashlight, which we'll switch on. As you can see, that's located on the top. With such a big battery, I'm sure you could have used that for hours. We'll turn that back off. And that's it. That's all the features. As I said, pretty basic phone. I mean, even at the time, you had phones coming out with cameras, polyphonic ringtones, colour screens. But for what this phone was built to do, it did well. And that is why it went on to sell 250 million units. Still the highest selling phone of all time. And in fact, for a period, I think around 2009, it was actually the highest selling electronic device of all time. So when somebody asks you what the highest selling phone of all time is, it's not the iPhone, it's not the Samsung Galaxy, it's the Nokia 1100. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy retro phones, if you enjoy retro tech, retro game consoles, retro toys, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can do that by clicking on the little icon on the top left of the screen. We've got plenty more videos coming. Stuff from the 70s to the 2000s, all unboxing and review. We'd love to have you along for the journey. Thanks for tuning in, guys.